recording. Okay, now we're going to be going into the actual hands-on lab portion. Just want to make sure you guys can see. And okay, all right. So for this portion, we're actually going to be going into the SEO practice lab. Okay, this is just a WordPress templated place where I allow students to practice what we've discussed in the lecture, and I'm going to give you the ability to I'm going to give you the ability to hold on a second. Need to make sure that hold on. Yeah, I'm going to give you the ability to to practice exactly what we're going to be showing you today. Okay, I'm going to let me go to the dashboard, and this is what you're going to see in a typical WordPress configuration. You're going to be able to see the front end, but this is the back end of a WordPress site. Okay, the WordPress site, and you're going to see various different things to be able to access. And we're going to be crafting a post. Okay, and this is where you would be crafting a blog post, and you can see you can craft a web page as well. All of the elements and all of the instructions that we're going to be doing is relevant to both web pages and blog posts, but I find it's much easier to demonstrate on a blog post, as this is going to be something that you're going to be doing more regularly rather than adjusting your web pages. Okay, I don't want to mess around with the web pages as much as creating blog posts for you, right? And then you're going to go to the section all posts, and you're going to see where you have all of your drafts. Okay, now I preloaded a draft of a blog that I'm writing, and it's called 9 Ways to Create the Perfect Landing Page for Your Business Website. Okay, this is an example. Now, we're going to be delving into writing the proper structure and methodology of writing a highly optimized post. Okay, now when we discussed doing SEO via a plugin, one of the most popular SEO plugins on the WordPress platform is Yoast SEO. You can see that over here, Yoast SEO. Right now, the SEO analysis needs improvement. The readability is okay. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the article section, and you're going to see the Yoast plugin section. Okay, so when you're in a website, in a WordPress backend, and you have the Yoast plugin incorporated, at the bottom of the blog post section where you can manipulate the blog post is the Yoast SEO plugin section. Now, there is a real-time content analysis plugin, basically, where you can do this. You can do this yourself. This is free. This demonstrates the actual plugin online. I'm going to share it with everybody in the chat. This is a link to the to be able to drop your article into this content thing, and we're going to show you basically everything you're going to see me do in the back end over here. You're going to be able to do in real time on their Yoast plugin generator. Okay, this gives you an idea of how to use the plugin, and this is again one of the most popular SEO plugins, but most all SEO plugins have a very similar format. Okay, and basically, when it comes to Yoast SEO, Yoast SEO has basically a traffic light kind of method. Red being, you're not doing well. Then there's orange where or yellow where you're sort of in the middle, and then the objective is to hit a green. Okay, and then in the actual plugin, there's different sections. There's the focus key phrase. This is where you plug in the focus keyword phrase that you want to rank this page or blog post for, right? That's where you put it in. This will give you an idea of what the preview, what people will see when they search and find your page. Okay, I'm gonna minimize that. And this is probably the most important element of the plugin, and this is the analysis. Okay, and what you're going to see is there's the plugin is going to take the content that you enter into this section here, right? All of the content that you enter over here, that the plugin is going to do an analysis and see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Now, SEO is not an all or nothing proposition. You want to think of it as a scale. You want to tip the scales in your favor to get you to the point where you're in the green. Okay, so let's look at the analysis right now. I punched in a rough draft of my blog that I'm writing. Okay, and right away the analysis shows there's no internal links, right? It doesn't have any internal links, so you want to make sure to incorporate some internal links. Okay, that's problem number one. Key phrase length. There is no focus key phrase that was set for this page, right? Set a key phrase in order to calculate your SEO score, right? We can't analyze a piece of content without knowing what the focus keyword phrase you want this piece of content to be targeting. Okay, so it's very, very important to select a keyword phrase, and we're going to get into that keyword phrase, how to select, etc. Right? Then the meta description length. There's no meta description, all right, and over here is where we're going to be able to enter the meta description. Right? Here's the title. Here's the URL. Here's the meta description. Right? So we're going to actually be able to designate the title tag. This is where we can put in the title tag, which is one of the HTML elements that we discussed early on. This is where we set up the slug or the URL, right? And this is where we put in the meta description. Remember, I said at the outset that your ability to enter this data is going to be right through the plugin, and this is exactly where it's going to do. You're going to do it, and on the generator, you can do it here as well, right? You can select your focus keyword, and then it will give you all of the various different things to add. Okay, so let's go back to the analysis. There's no meta description, so make sure you write one. There's no SEO title, right? Please rate a title. There's an image, but there's no. Now, if you notice, I incorporated an image, but there's no alt text, and we're going to get into that as well. And what do we do well? Okay, we have three greens. We have outbound links. We incorporated some links in the content, which I'm going to show you. We incorporated some images, which is good, and we have a lot of text, right? We have text length, 1,275 words. Great job, yay! Now, This is still a work in progress. In order to have content that has an actual chance of ranking, there's no specific word length that is going to allow you to rank. Google never says, you know, that there's a specific number of words that you need. But analysis has shown that at the bare minimum, you need 600 words for a piece of content to have any sort of value. But the reality is, if you can provide the value, the information, the thing that the person is searching for in less, so then Google may actually find your content more valuable than, let's say, somebody who wrote 3,000 words. But as a general rule, you definitely need a minimum of 300. And if you want a blog post to have a chance of ranking, you definitely want to be writing in the 600 to 1,000 words. 600 is the cutoff point here that the plugin will give you the green light. Okay, now let's get to the content, and we're going to, as we change and the content of the of the blog post, you're going to see the score, the SEO score and analysis change. And as we manipulate the various different elements, and we check off the various different elements that we need for an optimized site post, you're going to see the score change. And our objective is the SEO analysis should be in the green. Okay. Now, one of the most important things we talked about, one of the most important thing is having and designating a keyword phrase for a post to rank, right? The longer the keyword phrase, the more specific the intent, the more likely you are to rank for that much more specific intent, and as long as the content supports it, right? Now, what am I writing about? I'm writing about creating the perfect landing page for your business website, right? So let's for argument's sake, I just want to before we get into that, I want to show you two tools that you can use for free that will help you in you know, to find a good opportunity when you're doing keyword research. Okay, so here are two tools. The first one is called Keywords Everywhere. Okay, this is a plugin that you can install on your your browser, either for Chrome or Firefox. Okay, it's an add-on for keyword research, and I'm going to show you exactly what it does. I've already integrated it, Keyword Everywhere, into my browser. So when I do a search, right, if I go to a Google search, and Anthony, can you tell me, are you seeing my Google page? Okay, great. All right, I just want to make sure that you're seeing what I'm showing. Okay, what happens is when I punch in keywords or a search query into Google now, you're going to see, I'm going to show you this keyword tool, this keyword research tool in action. So let's do I don't know, landing page, right? I want to see keyword keyword data for landing page, right? So I hit I hit Google search, right? Now, all of a sudden, when you do, if you to go into your Google page and punch in this keyword landing page, you would not see the data that you see right now at the top of my page. Let me see if I can focus in. You see this keyword data, volume 18,100 a month, right? It's telling me the search volume for this term. It's telling me the cost per click if I were to want to do pay-per-click advertising for this term. It's telling me the average cost per click is $20.27. It's telling me the competition, how hard it is to rank, right? So it's a 50 out of 100. So it's pretty competitive. And then this one shows me the average volume of the let's see if it brings it up. And here in this section of the page, you will see the SEO difficulty is actually 82 out of 100. It's very, very difficult. And so different metrics to tell you the long-term keyword probability of ranking. And then there's related keywords. And it will tell me related keywords to my query, and it tells me some data. Again, the trend data for landing page example. You can see how the month-to-month trends of the monthly searches for these things, free landing page widths, landing page versus website, right? These are different metrics. Now, it happens to be with the Keywords Everywhere plugin that you see over here, it's giving me a lot more data on keyword research than you will have in your normal standard Google page. Okay, and so it's giving me a lot of on-the-fly instant feedback. Is this a good keyword to go after? Okay, and you see keyword data basically everywhere throughout this page that you will not see on a standard Google page. Okay, so that's one tool that I use every day, and it happens to be, it costs me $10 for I think 1 million or 100,000 word data. So I every time I click on these things, it gives me it costs me literally pennies, but I use it all the time. It's invaluable, and it's such a pittance of what you're paying for. So I consider it very, very worth the money. The next keyword tool is called Uber Suggest. Go to app.neilpatel.com. I'm going to copy that and include it in the chat for everyone to find. And this is a free tool that gives you so much at at your fingertips when it comes to research. You can do a site audit. You can do keyword overview, traffic analysis, backlink analysis. Remember, you asked, I believe, Anthony, is there a place to test how many links we have, right? You asked. Well, Uber Suggest is one such. It's a free tool. Now, there are other tools similar to this, much more comprehensive, much more thorough. But for a free version, you can't beat it. Okay, this is you log in, and you log in with your Google your Google account, and you get access. And you there are so many things you can take a look at. So you can do a site audit and punch in your website over here, and it'll do an analysis, and it'll find all the SEO issues that your site have. You can do keyword analysis, right? You can do traffic analysis based on how much traffic a certain website is getting, what backlinks it has, opportunities that you can use to find backlinks, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very, very comprehensive SEO tool suite that for free you can't beat. I mean, this is fantastic. So, and if you're an amateur and you're just starting out, this is a great tool to use. Now, one of the great things that this tool has is, again, keyword research, right? So I punched in landing page, right? I wanted the language to be English. I wanted the data to reflect the US data, right? And it gave me the search volume, how difficult it is to rank for this thing, how difficult it is to rank for as a paid keyword, what's the average cost per click, okay? Then it's going to give me some ideas, and you can click on, and gives you pages and pages of ideas for keyword phrases that you may have a better time an easier time to rank, because the SEO difficulty over here you see is in the red. It's very, very difficult to rank for these terms, right? But if I take some time, but if I take a look and see, well, landing page in Squarespace, right? So if I decide to write an SEO article, what's the best way to create a landing page in Squarespace using a Squarespace website? This is an opportunity over here, right? Because it's a very low cost per click, but it has 590 searches a month. So if I write a quality article on how to do this, for Squarespace, it gives you an idea. All right, and so this gives you a ton of data on various keywords, right? Related, questions, prepositions, comparisons. So it gives you a lot of different things. So landing page for, let's say, business website. See if there's any keyword data for this term. No, there's no search volume. It's very easy to rank for this. It's very easy to rank, if you're going to pay for the keyword, right? And again, landing pages for websites may be a better term, right? Because it has a higher search volume. So it gives you ideas of what you should be writing your content with, right? Fantastic tool. But let's just, for argument's sake, say, I decided that landing page is going to be the focus keyword of my article. Okay. Now I'm going to preface that this is not a good idea, because landing page is not a long-term a long tail keyword, right? It's very, it's very broad. Okay. But for this exercise, I want to show you how the plugin is going to calculate whether or not you're doing the right things to give you a better chance to rank versus not. Remember, the more specific you can get, the more likely you are to rank for that term. Also, on the flip side, the more specific you get, the less likely you're going to rank for other related terms. Okay, so if I'm doing landing pages for business or landing pages for websites, that's a much more focused than, let's say, if I do landing pages for Squarespace or for Wix, which we saw that the volume was very, very 590 a month and much easier to rank. So you have to assess what is going to be the purpose of the article that you're writing, and then come up with the term, and then you can see the search volume of that term, and whether or not it makes sense to go after that term if you want to generate website traffic. Now, it could be that you're creating, and you're going to be creating the innovative of content of an entire new lane, and that's very, very possible. You may be exploring something that has not been, there's no awareness out there for it, and so the fact that the search volume is very low shouldn't be surprising. But you should be cognizant of what is the focus keyword phrase for this page. So for us, I'm going to call it landing page. Okay. And again, I know that this is very, very broad, but bear with me. So in the plugin, I'm going to put in my focus key phrase, right? Now, immediately once I did that, it went from red to orange. Why? Because the image key phrase, images, I have key phrase in the introduction, key phrase length, key phrase density, how many times was the key phrase used, how many times in the length of the article. Remember, the length of the article had 1,275 words, so there was a good ratio, 27 27 times apparently is a good ratio, and it's not too dense, right? It's not spammy. Okay. Previously you used key phrase? No, you did not use this key phrase before. Great. Text length, again, key phrase and slug. That means the slug. Okay, I want the slug to be empty, because I want to show you how to create the URL, the slug. Okay. Now, right now, I've designated the keyword phrase and I punched it in. Okay, so automatically it does the analysis and tells me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what I need to be focused on, right? So the image key phrase happens to be that this image, let's remove it for a moment. Can I? Let's remove the image because I want to show you how to do that. Okay, I want to show you how to do it later, right? So again, so we don't have any images. We need to add. We don't have internal links. We don't have a meta description. We don't have the key phrase in the subheading, right? I'm going to just show you subheadings, right? And we don't have an SEO title, okay? But what we do have, we have outbound links. We have key phrase in the introduction. That means that the keyword is right at the beginning of the content. So the person, when they read the article, the very first thing they see in the very first paragraph, they're going to see a mention of that keyword, right? That's a very, very important signal that Google wants to see. Now, I will tell you that is not necessarily lend itself to good writing, right? If you're a creative writer, you may not want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, and so that happens not to be very good for SEO. But and again, depending on what you're writing in your writing style, but if it's informational, you want that keyword phrase to be right at the beginning so that readers know right away what they can expect from this article. Okay. And we haven't used this key phrase in another article. Well, it's the only article on the website. So yeah, no kidding. Okay, so we have the next few things we have to do, right? SEO title. Now, what's the SEO title? More often than not, the SEO title of a blog post is going to be the title of that blog post, right? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same, but more often than not, the SEO title of the title of the article is more often than not, when you're writing a blog, going to be the SEO title as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to copy the title of the piece, and I'm going to put it into my plugin as the SEO title. Okay. Now, right away, you see the Google Preview Generator is showing you what it's going to look like in a search engine result on a mobile device or on a desktop. Okay. This is how it looks on a desktop, and this is how it looks on a mobile device, right? So I punched in the SEO title, right? I incorporated landing page in the title, and therefore it got a green bar because of the length, and it incorporated the landing page, which is the focus keyword, in the SEO title. Remember, best practices is to have the SEO title incorporate that keyword phrase. Everything you want to do when designating a page to be ranking for a certain keyword phrase is you want to show multiple different signals to that effect. And one of the most important signals is the SEO title. And this is where you punch it in. You don't have to put it in HTML code. You punch it right into the plugin, and it actually does it for you. Okay. Next, let's do the slug. Okay. Now the slug is the URL section of this blog post, right? So if I have my website set up properly with the architecture, I'm going to have my domain, whatever my domain is. Let's call it the SEO lab, right? SEOlab.com, right? And then I'm going to have a slash blog, then slash, I'm going to have the category of the blog, let's say, right? And then I'm going to have the actual page. The slug section is the actual end of the URL, okay? And again, incorporating the SEO, the keyword phrase that you want to rank this page for is going to be critical to be incorporated into the slug, right? And so I put 9, by the way, between each word in the slug, there has to be a dash. So 9 ways to create landing page for business website. Now, what that does is it makes it very, very descriptive and very simple to understand what this web page is going to be all about, right? Next, I'm going to do the meta description. This is, again, you want to incorporate the focus keyword in the description, and we're going to show you exactly how it's going to show up over here. And I put it over here before, and I have my meta description. And basically, in this article, we explore 9 ways to create the perfect landing page for your business website to rank well and grow site traffic. This is a description of what this article is all about, okay? And this now shows you a preview of what it's going to look like in a search engine result page. So now, if I look at the SEO analysis, suddenly I have meta description length, well done. Key phrase in the meta description, well done, right? And so I have the SEO title, well done. Title, so I'm checking off the boxes. I'm getting more and more the plugin to lean in and go in the direction of the green. We still have what to do, but at the very least, we've incorporated some of the most important elements, right? We have the title tag. We've designated, sorry, before we get to the title, we've designated the keyword phrase, focus keyword phrase. We plugged it into the analysis tool to give us an idea of whether or not what we've written on top actually is going to be optimized for this phrase. And so we incorporated the title, the slug, and the meta description. Okay, so far so good. Now let's get into headers. Now, when it comes to writing a blog, especially when it comes to WordPress, the default of your page is when you create a title for a blog, that's going to actually by default get an H1 designation. Okay, remember when we talked about the header tags, the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and 6, etc. So by default, on WordPress, your page title is actually going to be the head H1. Okay, and so as long as I have the keyword phrase landing page, right? We're going for landing page. In my title, I have the keyword phrase in my H1. That means from here on in, all of the other headers right? You see how my content is broken up by different headers. So all of the different headers now are going to be H2 and down. Okay. However, what have I done over here? If you highlight this section, right? I've bolded it, but it's not getting the designation of a header. You see this icon? That's the paragraph icon. That means when I hover over this, right, it's going to show me the HTML coding for this section is a paragraph, right? It's the block style of this section is going to be a paragraph. I want it to be a header. So I click on this and I have a drop down. Okay, just click to tweet, highlight, heading, list, quote, etc., etc. These are various different HTML codings available to you. I want it to be a heading, right? It's very, very important to section off your content into various different sections. H2 being the primary heading, and H3 is supporting, etc., 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 right? I need this to be a heading, right? And so here, all of a sudden, now it's a heading, and you click on this, and it will give you the various different heading designations: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. If I go on the Yoast um, um, preview tool, right here, it actually spells it out: paragraph, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 6. Okay, and so it depends on the version of the plugin that you're using. But the bottom line is this will tell you what the designation is. Now remember, you don't want to use the headings to change the font size or the bolding, right? You can manually change that yourself without incorporating it as a heading, right? Here's bold, here's italics, here's all the various different things to manipulate the content, right? So it's the same thing here, right? So now this is an H2 designation, right? So 9 ways to create the perfect landing page for your business website is the H1. That's the most important thing. Now I have content that is going to be supporting this, right? And what is the thing? Creating and leveraging an effective landing page is crucial for businesses that want to improve the effectiveness of their website, generate more leads, and increase their revenue. Okay, so that's my introductory paragraph. This is going to tell everybody what to expect for my article. Now I'm going to go into explaining what is a landing page. So this is a very, very important heading, right? And so this is a primary heading. This is going to be an H2 designation. Next, so I have what is a landing page. And so the reader is going to be able to know that the following paragraph or two is going to answer that question. How is it now I've identified what a landing page is? How is a landing page different than your homepage, let's say, right? Great question. Okay, but this also is misdesignated. Why? Because this is still a paragraph. I need to change this to a header. And so I find where is it, heading? And again, I want it to be an H2 because this is addressing another question and it's supporting the H1, right? So this is an H2 and this is an H2. Now, 9 landing page tips and best practices. Again, I have to designate it as a heading, also an H2. But now that I've said, okay, here are 9 landing page tips and best practices, right? What designation, and please unmute yourself and tell me What designation do you think this needs to be? Which heading designation do you think this needs to be? Remember, this is an H2, 9 landing page tips. That means every supporting header underneath it
H3.
needs, exactly right, an H3. So I'm going to click on, but now it's H2. So now I'm going to change it to H3, right? What is the designation over here? Still a paragraph. This is number 2. Consider typography, right? What designation does it need to be?
All the numbers will be H3.
Exactly. All the numbers are going to be H3s. And so I'm going to change it to an H3. Okay. And then within the H3, I can underline it, I can block it, I can italicize it, depending whatever I want, right? And I can change the various different formats. Bottom line is, though, I need it to be HTML coded as an H3, right? So far, what is the hierarchy look like? I have an H1 as my title. What is a landing page? How is a landing page different? 9 landing page tips and practices, right? So I have identified these different sections, and now these H3s are supporting this H2, right? And this H2, and this H2, and this H2, these headers are supporting the H1. You see how that hierarchy goes? And what happened to our tool? Our tool just said, oh, look what you did. You have a key phrase in the meta description. You have a key phrase in the introduction. You have a key phrase in the subheading. 3 of your H2 and H3 subheading reflect the topic of your copy. Good job. I just got a green. And what did it do? It tipped me over into the green. So as far as Yoast is concerned, this article so far has met the threshold of being an optimized article. Now, between you and me, it's not. It's far from over. I have 1,275. Most of the rest of the article is not properly, tagged properly, right? None of the headers are tagged properly. But I want to show you a different one. In number 4, write engaging content, right? Or copy, right? What this is 4 out of the 9. And what designation should this header be? Again, it should be an H3, right? But now I have another subheading within it, pain points and benefits, right? That mean I want to be, I'm telling people to write copy that actually addresses the pain points and benefits of your content, right? Or of your article, right? And so this is a subheading of this header. So this is an H3. What should this one be? The subheading of an H3 is a
H4.
correct. An H4. And so we put to it to H4. And so that way you can see how the format, and I'm going to save the draft. I'm going to preview what this article looks like, okay, from afar. And if I'm looking at it, I can see, that the what do you call it? That the headers are doing their job, right? And so I can just take a look at the web at the page and know what to expect from this content, right? Because I've designated the various different headers, and it's checking those boxes. Okay. Now, the next thing we have to do is let's take a look at what are some of the elements that we need. We don't have any images. Okay. Now, this is when it comes to writing a blog post, you need to have an image. Let's go to the. You need to have set a featured image. When you set a featured image, the benefit of setting a featured image, that is the image that is going to be associated with the article or this page. Okay, and it's also going to be the default of what shows up in the preview. Right now, where do you get those images? So it's very, very important to download an image and that you have permission to use. Okay, there's nothing worse than using an image that you have no permission to, because that you run into all sorts of legal trouble, and it can be nothing but a headache for you. Literally thousands of dollars in legal fees if somebody were to call you out on it. So it's recommended to have a subscription to something, let's say like Shutterstock. Okay, so I went to Shutterstock. I have an account at Shutterstock that I get these images. Now there happens to be, there are plenty of royalty-free image sites out there that require certain criteria. Make sure you follow all of the criteria that they designate for you to be allowed to use those images. I find them much more easy to have a subscription to a place like Shutterstock. Okay, and I type in what I want I want to look for, right? Landing page design, let's say. Okay, I don't know. Let's say landing page design. Let's find a no. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for landing page optimization, let's say. Okay, and so it gives me dozens and dozens and dozens of images, and literally 120 pages full of images that I can choose from. So let's choose one. I don't care. Let's okay. I don't know, something decent. Okay, let's take this image. Okay, now remember, when you're downloading when you're downloading an image from a site, the image is going to be very, very high definition. Okay, so a few things you should be doing. Okay, edit and create. All right, you can download and access the editor that Shutterstock provides. Okay, and this is the problem is that until you download it and actually pay for the image, you're going to have this watermark on it. And it's not going to be good, right? So and so what you want to do is you want to resize the image to a size that's going to work for your a size that's going to work for your template. You don't want it to be too big. You don't want it to be too small, right? So let's say I do I want it to be 1200 by 800, or so this one is going to be 1200 by 956. So that's the default. So okay, so now I can take a look at it, and now okay, I've minimized the size right off the bat, because I've changed it from over 4500 now to 1200. Now I want to change the name, the file name. Okay, I want to incorporate, what do I want to incorporate in the file name? because it's going to help me for identifying the image name, right? So I want to call it landing page. Why do I want to call it landing page for business, let's say? Right? Why do I want to call it landing page? Because landing page is my focus keyword phrase, correct? So I want to save that. Okay, fine. When I download it, when I'm ready to download it, it gives me an option to what kind of file type, etc. Let's say it's JPEG. What's the quality? If it's high quality, it's very high resolution, but it's a very large file size. I don't want it low or tiny file size. I want it medium, right? Okay. And I'll download the image, right? And so what happens is I've paid now for the image. It's downloading, right? Now, I want to show you I can show it in the folder where I downloaded it, okay? $142 KB. That's not too big. That's not bad. Let me show you what it would look like if I did it on high quality, okay? I'm going to download it as a high quality download. Look how large the file size is, okay? So show in folder is going to show you 312, right? It's much, much larger. If I were to resize the canvas to okay, let's just say, okay, fine, 312. And let's, for argument's sake, say that that's way too large, right? So I'm going to go to this website over here. It's called compressedjpeg.com. Let's say I don't have image manipulating software. I don't have I don't have Photoshop. You can go and compress the image size at this website right here. I'm going to share it in the chat. It's called compressedjpeg.com. You actually can compress JPEGs, PNGs, GIFs, PDFs, all sorts of different formats, right? And what you do is you go and you upload the file, right? So I'm going to take the file I just downloaded and I drop it in there. And it's 312 and I'm downloading it now. I just minimized it by 62%. It automatically minimizes it by 62%. And now if I look at the folder, the minimize is 117K, right? So I just minimized it by 60%, right? So now it's a manageable size. It's going to load very quickly and still retain the image quality. So now what do? I've downloaded this image, and here's what I do. I go to my back end. I go to the media library. Click on the media library. Now it happens to be I've done it before, so I have many different images with this thing, but I'm going to add a new one, right? I'm going to select the file that I just minimized, and now I have available to me in my library, image library, the image that I just optimized, but it's not fully optimized. So here's what I got to do. Okay, I have a file size of 117. The title is landing page for business, right? I can caption it if I want a caption underneath it. I don't want a caption underneath it. A description, it's a good idea to let's say put in a description. right? But the most important part I didn't do yet. The most important part is the alt text. Remember, I told you you need to designate an alt text in an image, right? A highly optimized image is not just compressed, but it also has an alt text. The alt text is tells the search engine what this image is all about, right? So I'm going to use this as the description, right? The alt text for this image. And now I've just said landing page for business. The benefit that I will realize from it is that I've incorporated my focus keyword into the alt text. Again, another SEO best practice, right? So I've minimized the size, I've included an alt text, and in the alt text, I've included my focus keyword. Okay, so now I'm ready to roll. Now I go back to the post, and I click on the post, and now I can set a featured image. So I click on set featured image. I'm going to go to my library, my media library. I'm going to select the image that I just optimized, and I'm going to set featured image. Okay. And now I'm going to save it. And let's preview what happens. I preview. This is going to give me a preview of what the article is going to look like, because I designated this as the featured image. This is the image at the top of the article. Okay. And this is not the image that's going to be inside the article. I can use other images for that, but this is going to be the featured image. This is the image that is going to be featured. And if we take a look in the preview tool, guess what happens? That image now is featured in the Google search, right? Here's the desktop result. But on the mobile result, it has the featured image incorporated. And if I scroll down into the analysis, now I have, what do I have? I have images. I have image key phrase, right? I have the image key phrase with the alt text using the focus keyword, right? So I'm getting green all across the board. And now I have green in my SEO considerations and also my readability. Why? Because apparently I'm using the paragraph length, the sentence length, the passive voice, the consecutive sentences, and subheading distribution, which means that there's not too many paragraphs between subheading, right? There's not too many words between subheadings. I have it spaced out. The paragraphs are short and sweet. Okay, and so the bottom line is it makes for a much more readable article. Now let's take a look at the preview. And what does it look like? And now you have a good looking featured image. Now we can use, let's go back to the article. We can use images throughout the content. In fact, it's recommended if you're going to have a long piece of content to incorporate imagery throughout your content, right? So let's take a look. I don't know. Let's say let's take a look at an opportunity to put. I'll add, and so here I can add a block. So I'm going to add an image, and it's going to say, okay, you can either upload or a media library. And now I'm going to go choose a previously uploaded thing to my from my media library, and I'm going to I don't know. Let's use this image. Okay. I'm going to select it. Now, once I've put it, I've put it, I can manipulate it. the size, right? I can manipulate the alignment. Let's say I want it to be, let's just, right? I can add a caption here. I can move it, right? And now it's, but one of the most important parts is it has, if I go into the, hold on a second, if I go into the media library for this image, it has, where is it? Which one was it? This one? It has the alt text, right? It's compressed, it has the alt text, and again, landing page design example, right? So the landing page again reinforces. I'm using I'm using the keyword phrase that I want this article to be associated with, right? And so I've incorporated it over here, and et cetera, et cetera. You can do this with every section, or you could do it with just let's add a block over here. Again, another image, go from the media library. And again, the images should reflect what the content is talking about. Right? And I can select it. And I'm going to align it, let's say on the left. Okay, and I'm going to adjust the size, right? And I can adjust what the caption has over here, or delete the caption, right, et cetera, right? And so this gives you, let's take a preview of what it looks like now. And this gives you an idea of how the blog is going to look. So here's the thing, and I have this image over here, this image over there, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and so basically that's all I want you to do. I'm going to give you access to the lab in a subsequent email. You're all going to have access to this. I want you to upload the 300 word blog that you've prepared. Okay, and you're going to be able to download and upload images. I want you to use this tool to compress the image. I want you to use the various different tools that we demonstrated today. I'm going to have links for all of them in the upcoming email. I'm also going to incorporate some links to videos teaching you how to use the tools properly, especially the Uber Suggest and the like. And this is how you're going to, the more you use it, the more you're going to be comfortable, the better you're going to get at it. And the benefit of this analysis tool is going to be that it's going to teach you what you need to focus on for SEO. And so the more you use it, the better you're going to be. Now, the one element of this article that I did not do properly is internal linking. And because this is a practice, what do you call it? A practice site. So there is no other articles on the sites that I can link, or other pages that I can link to it internally. So I don't have the opportunity here to do it, but if I were to do it on my website, I can show you that I'd have internal links. And as far as external links, here's an example of anchor text. And let's go to the when you click on it, you have the link or unlink. You have the ability to highlight whatever it is you want. You put here, let me just copy link address. Okay. So I'm going to teach you if I didn't, if I neglected to show you before. 230 million Americans own a smartphone, and over 79% of customers purchase via mobile, right? That's a statistic that I quoted, right? So I want to highlight this particular statistic, right? And I want to click on the link, and I want to put the article that I'm referencing over here, and I want to click on open in new tab. You want to open it in a new tab because you don't want people to lose their place, right? Because if it doesn't open up in a new tab and they click on the link, they're not going to easily find your website, right? Back to your article. You don't want people leaving. You want people to leave to see the reference and then come back to your article. So open it up in a new tab, right? If it's a sponsored link or an advertisement market as such, you want to search engines to ignore the link, mark it as no follow. That's obviously not what you want to do, because the more you can reference high value and link to high value content, the more it reflects positively on you. So that's the thing. So again, let's show you how to do it. I highlight the text. This is going to be my anchor text. It says 79% of customers purchase via email, via mobile. I'm going to click on the link. I'm going to put the link in. I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to hit submit. And now it's a hyperlink. Okay. And so incorporating links into your content is obviously where is that? Outbound links. Good job, right? And so use the tool to give you a better handle on what you need to do for SEO. And the more you use the tool, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Okay, and just keep in mind the elements that we discussed, and practice makes perfect. And I'm confident that with enough practice, you guys will be able to get content that is actually driving traffic to your websites. Any questions? I'm going to stop the share right now. Okay, and I'm also going to